Good morning, students. We are here for discrete series of Bowley's coefficient of skewness. In last lecture, we had finished Bowley's coefficient of skewness for individual series. We are in the second part of unit number 3 of skewness, where we have to study two methods. One is Karl Pearson, another is Bowley's coefficient of skewness. We had already finished Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness in previous lectures, and we also finished the Bowley's coefficient of skewness for individual series. In this particular lecture, we are here for Bowley's coefficient of skewness for discrete series. The problem that I considered here is the problem which is being already asked in Rashtrasant Tutuguruji Maharaj Nagpur University examination of winter 2016. First we will read a problem, then we will do as a tabulation what we needed for, because we need Q1, we need Q3, and we need median. But this is a problem of discrete series, that's why we have to work accordingly as per the requirements of discrete series. Find out Bowley's coefficient of skewness from the following data. Size is there and frequency 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The respective frequencies are being given here: 20, 25, 35, 50, 60, 27, 13, 29, 12. Now we have to tabulate the data as per the requirements of discrete series. So first column we mention as it is, second column is of frequency, and the third column that we have to prepare is a cumulative frequency. This is your first column. Second column, which is these two columns, we already had the data. The third one that we had prepared is a cumulative frequency, because we have to calculate median. That's why we prepared cumulative frequency. There is no need to arrange the data in ascending order because already it is being there. So 20, then 20 plus 25, 45, 45 plus 35, 80, 80 plus 50, 130, 130 plus 60, 190, 190 plus 27, 217, 217 plus 13, 230, 230 plus 29, 259, 259 plus 13, 272. That's why n equals to 272 total of frequencies. So we had prepared the data, prepared the table. Now first thing that we have to calculate, because the requirement of Bowley's coefficient of skewness is Q1, the first quartile, then Q3, third quartile, and median. After calculating those three items, we can use the Bowley's coefficient of skewness formula, and then we will have a final answer. The first thing that we have to prepare is a Q1 equals to the size of n plus 1 divided by fourth item. The size of the calculation we already did of n equals to 272. So 272 plus 1 divided by fourth item. We will move to the next page. The size of 273 divided by fourth item. The size of 68.25th item. Now we have to locate that 68.25th item in a cumulative frequency. So we moved again to the first page. So 68.25th item will be in a cumulative frequency of 80. So the group, not a group, the data set or the value that we had here for Q1 equals to 7. So Q1 equals to 7. 68.25th item is located in cumulative frequency of 80. That's why 80 represents 7. So Q1 equals to 7. So this is our first answer. The second, rather than solving median, we will move to Q3, because that will actually support our flow of information. So Q3 equals to size of 3 in bracket n plus 1 upon fourth item. The size of 3, n we had already calculated, 272 plus 1 divided by fourth item. The size of 3 in bracket 273 divided by fourth item. The size of 3 in bracket 68.25th item. The size of 204.75th item in cumulative frequency. The size of 204.75th item we have to locate, and it will be 217. And the respective value to that particular 217 frequency is 10. So Q3 equals to 10. Okay. Size of 204.5th item in the cumulative frequency 217. So 10 represents the value of 217 cumulative frequency. So Q3 equals to 10. So now we have Q1 7, we have Q3 10. Now we have to calculate median. Size of n plus 1 upon 2th item, the size of 272 plus 1 upon 4th item, the size of 273 upon 2th item, the size of 136.5th item in a cumulative frequency. Now 136.5th item, we again relocate, we have to recruit, and it will be 190 because it is more than 130 and less than 270. So it is located in 190. So the representing value is now 9. 136.5th item in cumulative frequency 190. So m equals to 9. So now we have all those three things. Q1 equals to 7. We have Q3 10 and m equals to 9. Now we will put up these three things in the formula. Coefficient of skewness equals to, that is J equals to Q3 plus Q1 divided by minus 2m divided by Q3 minus Q1. Q3 we have 10, okay, plus Q1 we have 7 minus 2 in bracket m we have 9 divided by 10 minus 7. 10 plus 7 17 minus 2 multiplied by 9 18 divided by 3. 17 minus 18 minus 1 divided by 3. It will be minus 0.33. So it is a negative coefficient of skewness. So this is a very simple problem. Actually, I just told you in last lecture also, the problems of coefficient of skewness are very simple. There are very less requirements of coefficient of skewness because you don't have to prepare a very big lengthy table for that. As we had seen in Karl Pearson coefficient of skewness, we need mean, mode and standard deviation. In Bowles's coefficient of skewness, even though requirements are very less in comparison to Karl Pearson, here we just have to calculate Q1, we have to calculate Q3, and we have to calculate this one, median. So this is a problem where we had the answer in negative. So there is a negative coefficient of skewness. So this is the entire problem. Where we had the discrete series, we tabulated the data, we prepared the cumulative frequency, then we calculated Q1, the answer was 7, then we calculated Q3, the answer was 10, then we calculated the median, the answer is 9, and then we put up the values in the formula Q3 plus Q1 minus 2m divided by Q3 minus Q1, and we had the answer minus 0.33. So you have to just write one line below that there is a negative coefficient of skewness, there is a negative Bowles's coefficient of skewness in this particular discrete series. So this is a problem of Bowles's coefficient of skewness discrete series. In next lecture we will see the last problem, the last part of this unit number 3, the problem of continuous series. As we did in Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness, we gone through 3 problems of 3 different series. Here also we are doing the same. Right now we finished the problem of discrete series. In next lecture we will go for a problem of continuous series. Though these problems will not be directly helpful to you for your MCQs, but again seeing the formula, seeing the methodology, how we solve the problem, there will be very short problems in MCQ, but again this will be for your conceptual understanding, for your fundamentals. So I actually request you to see the lectures, go through the lectures properly. I adopted this innovative way of delivery of lectures particularly for this subject and for your class, because when we write on a board, actually that is not properly visible. So I just prepare these notes, take a screenshots of some reference books, and in a side corner of the screen you can watch me interacting with you. So my dual requirements get fulfilled with this model of delivery of lecture, because you will see me delivering a lecture in a side corner, upper side corner of your screen, and and you will see the notes in a proper way, and it's clearly visible. So I hope this way of delivery of lectures, particularly with this method, is properly a very good way, very good or proper for your understanding. So we will meet in the next lecture for Bowles's coefficient of skewness continuous series. Thank you very much.